Yo, what is going on, everybody? Carnage back here again, and today I am back with another weekly comic book pickup video. And I did also get a very awesome Deadpool key this week, too, so that'll be shown at the end of the video. But very good comic book week this week. I did pick up way more than I probably need to, comic-wise. Did read a lot of very good, and I repeat, very, very good stories this week. Starting off with the ones that I have not read yet, just because I can't really say anything about them. First up is Spider-Boy issue number 4. Really, really loving this series so far. And also the covers have just been pretty awesome as well. In the last issue, he fought a character called Toy Soldier, who was basically like a miniature version of the, what's it called? The Super Adaptoid. Which, very cool episode. It just made Bailey, aka Spider-Boy, really, really human in my opinion. So, very excited to read this because, new Spider-Man character, who isn't excited about that? Next one up is Teen Titans number 8. Really do love this cover, by the way. Really, really aesthetically pleasing. And let me just say, after the whole Beast World thing that happened, really makes me appreciate the Titans way, way more than I thought it would. Very cool team. Really, really glad I started reading this series. Like, I've picked up every Teen Titan issue that's come out since I've, lived close to a comic book store. And by every Teen Titan, I mean basically just like Titans Academy, I think it was called. Might be mistaken about that, but very cool series as well. Recommend you check that one out too, along with Tom Taylor's Titans. And apologize if I keep like hiccuping and having mild burps. Just got done eating, so I kind of got a little gassy. So I do apologize for that. Gods issue number 5. Haven't really read anything past issue number 1 on this series. If I am going to be honest, I mostly. Like, I know Jonathan Hickman's writing, and he usually does, like, kind of a slow burn until one big thing, which is kind of why I haven't read anything up until, well, after issue number 1, I should say. But I do have 4 issues waiting on this, and I'm going to wait till issue number 6 comes out to then, start reading it again. Again, very sorry for all the, mild coughing. A series I'm actually in love with at the moment. This is the Incredible Hulk. This is issue number 9. Really, really loving this series so far, especially the whole dynamic between Hulk and... I never remember her name, but I know she has like a scar on her face from her abusive, father. Which, I mean, very, very interesting with, these two characters. Really excited to see where this goes, just because it's kind of like a very horror-filled Hulk series. Like the Immortal Hulk, except this one, I feel like just stays in the same tone for the entire time. Artwork's pretty cool, too. Next up is another series I'm really liking. Daredevil. This is issue number 6. Only thing I'm not a huge fan of is, like, the artwork. Like, it's not bad, it's just not for me. The interior artwork, though, that's phenomenal. I believe the cover is done by... kind of looks like John Romita Jr. art, if I'm honest. I might be mistaken about that, but looks kind of like his artwork. Really good story, though, so I do recommend you guys check it out. And getting on to the books I have read, we have Guardians of the Galaxy Annual number 1. Really, really good, like, annual. Like, if you read the Guardians of the Galaxy series when it started, like, pretty interesting story. Really, really do recommend you guys check this out. I'm not gonna, spoil anything, but let me just say, this annual made me really, really appreciate, all the characters in this book way more than I thought it would. And then another series which has surprised me quite a bit. This is Hellblazer, John Constantine, Dead in America, issue number 2. Really liked this one. This one was actually a very interesting read. So, like, this specific issue, I recommend you guys check out all the series that, I'm talking about, but this one, though, really, really do like this one. So I recommend you guys do check it out. And if you don't like the story, I mean, the artwork on it's just beautiful in general. Like, I mean, look at that. It's so good. I believe it's done by, if I'm reading this correctly, I think Jordi Belair. I think they do the cover art, and I really like it. So I do recommend, you guys check it out. And then, this one's actually one of my top ones that I'm actually really happy when it comes out. Like, this is only going to be a 4-issue limited series, if I remember correctly. I might be wrong about that. But the Sentry issue number 3, basically, there's this guy right here. Don't remember his first name, but basically he's a Sentry, and this girl right here, also the Sentry. He's trying to steal, like, everyone who got the Sentry's powers. He's already done it to 4 out of the 5 other people, not including himself, that got the powers of the Sentry. And in this issue, you actually find out how that happened, like how, they were able to get the powers of the Sentry, which I thought was pretty cool. I really do like that this kind of brought in one of my other favorite series that came out within the past couple of years, and that was Strange. It's not Doctor Strange because, Clea Strange was, the Doctor Strange at this time, which really good series too. I do recommend you guys check that one out as well. And then in this one, or next one up, is issue number 11 of Superman. And this actually gives us a little more insight onto, like, what happened to Lex Luthor, and how, Dr. Farm and I'm blinking out on the other one, but Dr. Farm, who is this person right here, and Lex Luthor, you kind of learn a little more about them. And also him and the guy he's working with, that guy right there. They are actually trying to make a Lex Luthor hit squad, and they tried recruiting Superman in this one. Not going to spoil any more about that, but let me just say, this Joshua Williamson series of Superman, very good. And I do recommend you guys check it out. And again, sorry for all the hiccups and, every other noise that I'm making. I did just eat before this, like I mentioned, and it's kind of made me a little gassy, so I do apologize for that. And this one, I'm kind of, like, it's not bad, but I'm kind of mixed on it, Like, this is just kind of like a little sub-story that they have for, the 1980s Secret Wars. And it's kind of more exploring, like, the symbiote costume in this issue, which was pretty good. I really enjoyed it, but, like, I mean, I'm just kind of curious why they made this. Like, I thought this was going to be something way different. Like, it's not bad. I do recommend you guys check it out, but it's just something that didn't make a whole lot of sense to me personally. But I do love the cover, though. Like, such a cool cover, though. I especially really do like, like the reflection off of the Human Torch's blast in Iceman's, ice ramp. Sorry about that. I had a coughing fit, so I do apologize about that. But hopefully that, kind of stops, the, like, noises I'm making. Up next is Batman issue number 144. Let me just say, this Joker Year 1, like 3-issue arc, very interesting. I do recommend you guys check it out, just because, like, it's just a more in-depth look about how the Joker, started out being the Joker. And if you're, like, a big DC fan, or if you just really like the Joker, I do recommend you guys check this out. And also, the covers are just pretty cool, too. This is definitely not my favorite one out of, this 3-issue story arc. Issue 142, I think it was. Yeah, 142, where there's, like, a puddle-shaped, like, Batman symbol. You just see the Joker holding the Red Hood helmet, because if for those of you who do not know, the Joker was the original Red Hood, which, I mean, that's something I thought was cool. And this kind of goes in depth a little more with that. So, do recommend you guys check out that story arc. And going down to the second to last book that I have, excluding the big one, we have Edge of Spider-Verse issue number 1. And they did do something similar with this, I want to say a few months ago, if not earlier last year, where they basically introduced like a bunch, and I repeat, a bunch of new Spider people. My favorite one being from that series, Hunter Spider, I think his name was. Basically, Kraven the Hunter with Spider-Man powers, which, let me just say, that was pretty awesome. I really like that character. And this actually introduces another new Spider character, Weapon 8, who is basically, Peter Parker, but he was, brought into Weapon H, which I thought was a pretty cool concept, because these tendrils are actually part of him, which I thought was pretty cool and badass. And he also does have 8 eyes, which does kind of weird me out a little bit, but still a pretty cool comic, and I do recommend you guys check this one out. And going on to the last book of the week, which I'm pretty sure is a lot of people's like number 1 picks for the week. That is Ultimate Spider-Man issue number 2. Almost said issue number 1 if I'm honest. Also done by Jonathan Hickman. Let me just say, like, this series is so cool. Like, it even brings in one of his, like, villains. Like, a surprising one, too. It brings in the Shocker in this. Like, that's all I'm going to say. But let me just say, really enjoyed the Shocker in this. And I did pick up a variant cover to it, too. This one was definitely my personal favorite one out of all the covers. Like, all the variant covers, I should say. Like, this is a pretty cool one. I really do like what they're doing with this. With the whole white border and everything. Really do love it. And this one I thought was just kind of funny. Because it says, face a tigress, you just hit the jackpot. Basically mimicking, first time Peter sees Mary Jane. Where it's like, face a tiger, you just hit the jackpot. Really cool. Really do like this cover art too. And with that, we have one more book left. And it's a pretty good one, in my opinion. Now, this Deadpool book is actually one that I feel like is going to actually blow up after the movie comes out, because there is rumors that this person is going to be in the film. And I'm not going to show it. Oop. Forgot about the sticker on the back. So I'm just going to hold my finger there for a second. But this character is actually a very, very cool one that I really do hope shows up in the movie. But if not, I'm not going to be too butthurt about it, just because this is still a beautiful looking book in general. So I'm going to go like that, turn it around, and boom. Deadpool, Merc with a Mouth, issue number 7. The first appearance of Lady Deadpool. And let me just say, this book, very awesome. I remember the first time I heard about Lady Deadpool, I was like maybe like 10 or 11, and YouTube was still relatively... It wasn't even like... How old was it? It was like not even 10 years old at that point, which makes me seem old, because I am old. But anyway, I still remember, seeing this and then finding out those two kiss, and I was like, oh, that's pretty funny. But now that I'm older and now that I know, technically he kissed himself. It was weird. It's a weird story, because Deadpool's going through dimensions and stuff. Like, this is a prelude to Deadpool Corps, which I thought was pretty cool. But let me just say, really do recommend this book, because it will more than likely go up if she actually does appear in the movie. And that rumor also says that Lady Deadpool is going to be played by none other than the phenomenal, beautiful Ryan Reynolds' wife, Blake Lively. And yes, I had to put Ryan Reynolds' name in there. Let me just say, very, very excited for that movie. Really glad I got this book before, it just blew up. But yeah, uh, thank you for everyone to kind of mess that up. I'm not gonna lie, gonna keep it in just so you guys know that I mess up as well, just because, keeping it real. Thank you all for watching. I really do appreciate it. If you do like this video, leave a comment, like, subscribe. If you hated it, just leave a comment of what you think I should do better. And yeah, thank you all for watching, and I will catch you on the next video. Peace. Also, before I forget, because I never remember it, if you want to follow me on Instagram, that's uncle_carnage. On Instagram, again, uncle_carnage. So, thank you again for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video. Peace.